Hi guys. Today I will share to you my multi-VDOM setup. I will set up a management VDOM. We have here two sources of internet connection. And we're going to configure a total of 3 VDOMs. Root VDOM, Company 1 and Company 2 VDOMs. We will also create 2 VDOM links connecting our Company 1 and 2 to our root VDOM and configure SD-WAN. Let us start checking our FortiGate's IP address. Let's type in IP config. Our FortiGate's IP address is 192.168.1.99. Let's access it using a web browser. Hit Advanced. Accept the risk. Let's change the default password of our FortiGate's admin account. Then we're gonna log in. Let's change the host name to FGT Lab. Hit OK. Then OK. There are two ways to enable VDOM in FortiGate. We can enable it through GUI or CLI. Let's try enabling it first using the GUI. You can find it in Settings under System. And then hit OK. It will log you out automatically. Let's just log in again. Notice that the VDOM tab appeared under System. Now, let us try to disable it and try enabling it again using CLI this time. You may enable it in CLI via console cable too. From our GUI, let us open a CLI. Then type in config system global and hit enter. Now, let us enable the multi-VDOM using the command set VDOM mode multi-VDOM. Or we can check for some other options. The given option shows how we can enable and disable multi-VDOM mode in our FortiGate device. After enabling the multi-VDOM, we need to input IND and then hit enter to save the changes we made. Now let's log in again. I'll just adjust my browser window. We will create new VDOMs for our Company 1 and 2. We will name this Company 1. And then another one for Company 2. The next thing we need to do is to create an account for each company. User 1 for Company 1. Input our password. Then select Prof Admin for Administrator Profile, and assign our user to Company 1. And just do the same user for Company 2. We will name it User 2 this time. That's it. Our accounts are ready. Now, let us assign interfaces to our VDOMs. By default, all interfaces are assigned to the root VDOM. As planned, we're going to use port 15 as our WAN 1. And port 16 is WAN 2. Let us first set up our LAN for root VDOM. We will create an interface and name it root LAN. For the type, we will use redundant interface and add ports 9 and 10 to it. Input out IP address and enable HTTPS, HTTP, and ping for administrative access. Also DHCP server. Now hit OK. Next, we're going to assign ports to Company 1 and 2. Ports 1 and 2 for Company 1. And then ports 3 and 4 for Company 2. Now that we're done assigning interfaces to our VDOMs, let us configure their respective LAN interface. Let's do ports 1 and 2 first for Company 1. We will name this interface Comp1 LAN. Redundant interface for type. Assigned to Company 1. With members ports 1 and 2. And then our Company 1's IP address. We will also enable HTTPS, HTTP, and ping for administrative access this time, and the DHCP server. Let's check our newly created redundant interface. There it is. Now let us do the same for our Company 2. We are done setting up the LAN interfaces of our 3 VDOMs. This time, we will create 2 VDOM links connecting our Company 1 and root VDOM. We will name it comp11_root as our first link. Select Company 1 for interface 0, and then root for interface 1. Then input our IP address for each interface. We will only use /30 network since we only need 2 usable IP address. You can decide what IP address you want, and enable ping in both ends in case we need to troubleshoot our connection. Now let's do our second link. Let's check our newly created VDOM links connecting our Company 1 and root VDOM. There they are. We can collapse to double-check our assigned IP addresses. Now let us set up 2 more VDOM links connecting our Company 2 and root. To avoid confusion, I suggest that you must have your proper VDOM link name. Select Company 2 for interface 0, then root for interface 1. Let's input our IP addresses. Then our second link for Company 2 and root connection. Let us double check. Our 2 lines connecting Company 1 and root. And another 2 lines connecting Company 2 and root. Let us go back to our topology. We already created 2 links for each company connecting to our root VDOM. Let us try to log into our root VDOM and do the necessary configurations. In the root VDOM, we will create 2 zones. First zone is for our Company 1 links and the second one for our Company 2 links. Zone is used to group interfaces. This is to avoid of producing multiple policies pointing to the same direction. We can double-check our zones. Here we have Comp1 and Comp2 link zones. You can hover on it to check some details. Let's go ahead and configure our WAN interfaces. That's it. Our WAN interfaces, ports 15 and 16 are configured. Now let us configure SD-WAN. I will name it WAN. Then configure ports 15 and 16 as its member. For port 15, Our gateway is 10.6.42.1. Let's leave everything to default for now. For port 16, our gateway is 10.6.47.1. Next, we will configure a static route. For interface, look for the SD-WAN zone we just created, then hit OK. Now, let's check again the physical LAN interface we assigned to our root VDOMs LAN network. We have port 9 and 10. I will plug in my LAN cable to port 9 directly. And then access our LAN interface IP address. Hit Advanced, then accept the risk. I'm in. Before continuing for further configuration, I will try to monitor our internet connection through a continuous ping to 8.8.8.8. I'll switch to root VDOM. Now we're going to create a firewall policy from our LAN to our WAN. Let's see if we selected the right interface. Yeah, incoming interface is correct. Outgoing is our SD-WAN. Great. Now the LAN of our root VDOM is able to access the internet. Let's see which WAN interface does our traffic goes through. Our trace route result shows that our traffic goes to WAN 1. Let us try to route our connection to WAN 2 instead and see if it will work. For source, we will select all. Of course, you may specify your source depending on your requirement. That's it. Let us consider that our session to 8.8.8.8 is not yet expired, so let's try to trace our connection to 8.8.4.4. Success. Notice that we are now using our WAN 2. The next thing we need to test is the failover of our SD-WAN. As we knew, we are now using our WAN 2. Let us try to disable our WAN 2 interface and see what will happen. SD-WAN failover works. We still have access to the internet. Let's confirm which interface does our connection currently routed. We routed back to WAN 1. Before we are in WAN 2. The next thing we need to do is to ensure that our first VDOM link for Company 1 is routed to our routes WAN 1, while the secondary link is routed to WAN 2. Let me double-check my VDOM links. And then, we're going to copy their name and use it as our network address name too. Now let us go back to SD-WAN and create a new rule. We're going to use the name similar to their VDOM link. For source, we will create a network address object of our Company 1 to root VDOM link. So, it should be 1.1.1.0/30. Set destination address to all. Manual for the outgoing interface. Then select our WAN 1, which is port 15. Now let us create another rule for our Company 1 link to our routes WAN 2. Network address is 1.1.2.0/30. Then point it to our WAN 2. That's it for our company 1. Let's make 2 more for our company 2. Similar to company 1, we will also route our first VDOM link to our routes WAN 1 and VDOM link 2 to WAN 2. Just copy the name. Network address is 1.2.1.0/30. Set destination to all. To WAN 1. Then our last rule for our link 2 to WAN 2 of route. Make sure to have the right rule sequence, of course. You may double-check each of the rules. Specifying SD-WAN rules to which one to use for each VDOM links are ready. Also, we are done creating a zone for each VDOM links. The next thing we need to do is to allow these 2 zones to access the internet. Let's now create a firewall policies. First, we will create for company 1. Our source will be the zone of our VDOM links for company 1. Outgoing is our routes 1. I will allow all traffic. Hit OK. Then let us create another one for company 2. Now we are done allowing company 1 and 2's access to the internet. Our interfaces looks pretty good. Let's enable back port 16, which is our WAN 2. Then double-check our static route. Looks good. Let's proceed to company 1 VDOM. Check our interfaces. Assigned interfaces are there. Let's go to SD-WAN and create a zone. Let's name it Comp11. Then add its member. Select the VDOM link 1. Then the SD-WAN zone we just created. Our gateway will be the IP address of our routes VDOM link 1 for company 1. Then add our VDOM link 2. For the gateway, it will be our routes VDOM link 2's IP address for company 1. That's all for our SD-WAN zone. Now let us create our static route. For static route, just select the SD-WAN zone we created from the interface option. Let's visit our interfaces. We have 2 LAN ports here for company 1. I will try to plug in my computer to port 1. Let's check if I already got a new IP. Not yet. Let's try it again. There we go. My network address already changed. Now let us access our gateway using the browser. Hit Advanced. Accept the risk. This time, we will use the dedicated user for Company 1. We're in. We're going to monitor our access to the Internet. Let's have a continuous ping to 8.8.8.8. We go to Network. Now I'm in LAN's port 1. SD-WAN is already configured, with our 2 VDOM links membered on it. Let's check our SD-WAN. Looks good. Check our static route. Now, let us create a firewall policy allowing our LAN to access the Internet. Source will be LAN. Outgoing is our SD-WAN zone. And we're going to allow all for now. Then hit OK. It worked. Our LAN is now able to access the Internet. Let us check which WAN interface is our traffic currently passing through. Currently, we are in our Company 1's VDOM link 1 and our routes 1.1 interface. Now, let us try to use our VDOM link 2, which is pointing to our routes 1.2 interface. For testing purposes, we're going to set our source and destination to all. Select Manual. And then our VDOM link 2 and hit OK. Then try to trace 8.8.4.4. Oops. Sorry. Not done yet. Notice that our connection is already in our Company 1's VDOM link 2 already and also routed to our routes 1.2 interface. Previously, we're in routes 1.1. This time, we're going to test our failover in SD-WAN. We will try to cut our connection in routes 1.2 by disabling its interface. Let's log in our global account. We're going to look for port 16. Right-click and then click Disable from the Set Status option. Let's have our continuous ping first to monitor if there will be a loss in our connection. Great. Our connection is still stable. Now let us try to trace 8.8.8.8 and check where our traffic is currently passing through. As we noticed, our connection is routed back to our VDOM link 1, which is also pointing to our routes 1.1. Now let us enable our port 16 interface. We're done configuring our Company 1 VDOM. This time, we will start configuring our Company 2 VDOM. I will connect my computer to port 3, which is part of our Company 2's redundant interface for LAN. Let's check if I already got a new IP address. Yeah. Let's access our LAN's IP address. And then log in our prof admin account for Company 2. We will just do the same we did in our Company 1 VDOM. Now, I'm in port 3 of our LAN interface. Also, we have our VDOM links ready. Let's configure our SD-WAN. Configure our SD-WAN members. For VDOM link 1, our gateway is 1.2.1.2, which is the IP address of our routes VDOM link interface. For VDOM link 2, our gateway is 1.2.2.2. Then we configure our static route. For the interface, select the SD-WAN we just created. Before we allow our LAN to access the internet, let us run a continuous ping first to 8.8.8.8. Then let us create a firewall policy allowing our LAN interface to access the internet. We are now able to access the internet from our LAN. Let's check which WAN interface does our traffic is passing through. We are in our VDOM link 1 and in routes 1.1. Let us try to route our traffic to VDOM link 2, which is also pointing to our routes 1.2 interface. And trace our connection to 8.8.4.4. Now we are in our VDOM link 2. Also, we are transferred to our routes 1.2. Let's try tracing our connection to google.com. We got the same result. All traffic is routed to VDOM link 2. Now let us try to test the failover of our SD-WAN. We're going to open a continuous ping here. And then disable our 1.2 interface again. Notice that there is no RTO in our ping to 8.8.8.8. Let us trace our access to 8.8.8.8 to confirm if our traffic was transferred back to our company 2's VDOM link 1 after disabling route VDOMs 1.2. Yeah, we are routed back to VDOM link 1. Previously, our traffic is passing through our VDOM link 2. That's all, guys. I hope this video helps you in understanding VDOM in a FortiGate device. Thank you for watching. See you in our next lab.